Alright, welcome back guys. I'm sorry I haven't been putting up videos here lately. It's just been awful cold and I've had a few things going on, but today I thought I'd share with you my grandpa's 59 Ford Galaxie. This is 59 Ford Galaxie Fairlane 500. My grandpa actually bought it brand new from the Ford dealership that he worked at in Huntsville, Arkansas at the time. And the old thing, it's been sitting here in my shop ever since we bought the house, and I haven't really done much with it. I can't say that. I have done a little bit of something to it. I put a new oil pump in it because back in the day, whenever the thing was running, after it'd get heated up, it would start losing oil pressure. So I thought the bypass valve in the oil pump, I thought that might have been going, bad, and letting the oil, pump back through and not carrying enough oil pressure. But start off here, I have put, a new cap, rotor, points, condenser, new wires, new plugs, and right now it doesn't have a carburetor on it. I did have a carburetor on here. I just took it off here recently because I'm going to get something situated about that. But I've done a few things. It's got a brand new coil on it. But overall it does need some work. Here the other day, the thing used to be parked clear back over there in the back of my shop, and I actually tried to get it out. I got it put up on these little roll carts or dollies, whatever you want to call them, and got the thing drug out. But in that moment, I do not know what happened, but I think I sprang a hole or something in the transmission, because if you can see there, that definitely looks like transmission fluid, and I'm not sure exactly what I got going on right there. But show you a little bit of the interior. I know it's kind of dark in here. Maybe I'll go try to find myself a light, show it to you guys a little bit better. Here we go. But yeah, now you can see the oil puddle back here on the floor. Yeah, it's pretty massive. But getting back to the interior, it needs some work. The door panels are pretty well toasted, as you can see right there, and I have yet to find anybody that remakes these. But back in the day, the car was actually, my grandpa took it down to the local community college and thought that he had let them do some work to it. And yeah, they pulled off some of the interior bits, like the little piece that goes up above the door panel, on the door there. And they pulled all of that off and, repainted it. But, these poor old door panels are just trashed. But this car was actually, had some pretty good options on it. It's the 352 Police Interceptor. It did come with, I think my grandpa added on that air conditioning unit right there. But that was put on it, brand new with the car. And if you get down in here and you look on the driver's side here, you can it says down here on the brake pedal that it's got power brakes. And now what that contraption is up there, I really don't know if that's how the power brake actually actuated. I mean, it's a fairly old setup evidently, but you know, it is what it is. You know, if you take a look here at these hubcaps, those are not original hubcaps for this car. You know, they look original. I mean, you know, if you don't know what you're looking for on a 59 Ford, you know, you would think that those are original, but those actually came off of, I do believe, my grandpa's 65 Galaxie, or whatever they were called in those years. I think they were still Galaxies in 65. I don't know if that might have been an LTD maybe, but those are actually 65 Ford hubcaps with 15-inch wheels. But you know, this old car, you know, whenever it first came to the dealership, this was actually a demo car. You know, they would bring cars out, you know, before they were actually for sale, and you know, they would have them at the dealership, and you know, some of the dealership people would actually drive them around. Well, that's exactly how my grandpa came across this car. You know, they had it at the dealership, you know, before the new ones were actually being brought out, and you know, he drove it around town, you know, for quite a few times, and people looked at it and, you know, they really liked it. And, you know, I guess my grandma, you know, really kind of liked the old car too, so my grandpa ended up, you know, getting the financing and, you know, bought the car. And, you know, my grandpa, like I say, was the original owner of it, and I am only the second owner of this car. But there's a few little things on this Galaxie here that are kind of different. You know, it's actually got some 58 parts on it, like these tips here on the bumper. Those are not factory, well, they're factory tips, but they didn't come out on the 59. These are a 58 year model exhaust. You know, it's not really a tip, it's just kind of a, I don't know, just a styling accessory, I guess. But yeah, that's one thing that you couldn't find on a lot of the 59s. I don't believe. I haven't seen a lot of them with those tips. And another thing that is actually kind of rare, I do think, is these bumperettes. You don't see a lot of the 59 Fords with those. But yeah, it's, you know, it still needs a little bit of work. I need to figure out just exactly where that oil leak came from. I don't know. Can't really tell too much under here. But yeah, I don't really see too much of anything to show where that oil might have came from. But